All right, fellas, wrestling. We're gonna do something different. Female wrestler, the great Trish Stratus. I gotta give credit to her the rivalry with her and Lita. I just like Trish Stratus was one of the perfect examples of the WWF. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get. I know I sound redundant, but her, Rock, Rikishi, Vince, still comical to this day. And Trish Stratus, fine, fine like wine. But she was an excellent wrestler of the WWE. Love her energy. Had some good mic skills. Did some good promos for the woman. So I got to give her credit on that. Her and Lita, I love the rivalry between her and Lita. So I'm gonna go. Those are some of my favorite Trish Stratus moments. BRF.
Man, anytime Prime Trish Stratus was on the TV screen, that was one of my favorite wrestling TV moments. Anytime Prime Trish Stratus was on the screen, let me tell you something. Trish Stratus in her, and even still now to this day, is like the closest personification to the word goddess. And this woman's like 47 now, and still is just like one of the most beautiful women in the world, bar none. It's just insane how good how she's still doing it at 47 years old. It's amazing. Um, I mean, like main event in Monday Night Raw with Lita, the Unforgiven 2006, the retirement match with Lita, slept on good match. Um, the rivalry with Mickey James, that WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania 22, the match they had at WrestleMania 22, great match, slept on. Um, and then just to kind of put in perspective how good she still was, the SummerSlam match with Charlotte Flair was a really good match. The Becky Lynch rivalry, the what was it, the payback steel cage match, so good, just good. Such a, I'm talking about, we came into that steel cage match not expecting much, and that was a match of the year candidate. I mean, tore the house down, tore the house down. Um, but honestly though, and on the comedy side, a moment that we don't necessarily talk about was the Desperate Housewives spoof. Like yeah, it was like her, Shelton Benjamin, Vince McMahon, and the Hardys. Like the towel. Just I mean, like that was at a time where this was still like WWE at their like edgy peak, and spoofing that commercial was just prime WWE at that time, just prime. So if y'all haven't seen that skit, go to YouTube and pull it up. And it was funny because this was Trish with her gimmick after she had broke her nose. So she was still wearing the protective face gear at the time, doing this and still pulling this off. So A, that tells you how hilarious that was, but B, that still illustrates how fine Trish Stratus is. So I digress. That's neither here nor there. But but if I had to pick one that stands out for me, it was for me it was the Raw main event. Her and Lita, to be able to be given a spot like that, because I feel like outside of main event the pay per view, the biggest thing you could have done was main event a Monday Night Raw,
Mm-hmm.
because Monday Night Raw is the flagship, and to main event a Monday Night Raw and tear the house down the way Trish and Lita did back in '03, you can't ask for nothing better than that. That's still one of my favorite women's matches of all time. The spot where Lita did the tope suicida and basically scorpioned on Trish Stratus is still one of the gnarliest things I've ever seen. And for her to get up and finish that match and win the women's championship, like I'm talking about, that's like that match was standing ovation worthy. So for me, that's the Trish Stratus moment that really stands out for me. just putting women's wrestling on the map as far as the WWE is concerned, and main eventing Monday Night Raw and tearing the house down. I'm a proponent. And y'all know me. I'm a big proponent of women's wrestling anyway. I feel like they deserve their shine and their spotlight because some of the best women wrestlers in the world are are the women. When you give them time, they go out and do it. So I was happy to be a wrestler fan that night, watching them main event Raw and tear the house down. So that moment for me with Trish Stratus stands out for me, and she is like if there was a picture, if the word icon was in a diction, like if there was a picture beside the word icon in the dictionary from a woman's perspective, it's Trish Stratus, just bar none.
Champ.
You know what? Does everybody remember when she won the hardcore title?
Mm.
That was a
Mm.
fun segment. I know it was by accident, but winning the hardcore title doing the 24/7 rules, that was something special. But look, I wish that she would have been at her peak now. I wish that, because if you really want to be honest with you, Trish Stratus was one of the main women in wrestling that made you focus on the wrestling rather than on, all the other stuff, I would say. She was like, well, damn, look at the technique. Yeah. So I think that she made us pay attention, especially when she came out of the shorts and she started wearing the pants. And I remember she did an interview where she said that I came out of the shorts to start wearing the pants because I really wanted people to pay attention to my wrestling ability. And I think that she was the first outside of Mae Young, outside of the Fabulous Moolah, I would say, in order to make us pay more attention to women's wrestling, especially, like I said, not to be repetitive or regurgitate the same information, but when her and Lita main evented Raw, that was something to behold, especially back in 2004, that was something special. Um, Look, like I said, I only wish that she was at her peak now versus back then, because I believe she would be even tops. She would be the top women's superstar right now. I mean, she would be the top. She would be the top woman in women's wrestling. And she got it to where it is today because, like I said, although we admire their beauty, we are looking at their wrestling ability a lot more because of Trish Stratus. We're looking at their we're looking at their ability a lot more. And you got to tip your hat to that, because before Trish, let's just be brutally honest, we was looking at a lot of matches because of the lewdness in it. Let's just be honest about that. We was looking at a lot of matches with Sable and Jacqueline and stuff like that. Although Jacqueline is a Hall of Famer, she's a great wrestler, but we was looking at those matches for a lot of the lewd stuff that was in it. Us being teenagers during the Attitude Era, who wouldn't? But that being said, Trish made us pay more attention to wrestling ability, more so than the lewdness and the sexiness of it, I will say. So
Entertainment. Yeah.
that's what I will say that Trish Stratus did for women's wrestling. She made us pay more attention to the ability and the technique and the technicality and the mat wrestling ability of the women's division, more so than paying attention to, I will say, bra and panty matches. So
Also, to
she
your
made
point.
it, oh my bad,
No, go ahead, champ.
because she made us, even when she did it. Yeah, when she did bra and panties matches, yes, it made us want to watch. But even when she wasn't, we was glued to the television to see if she was gonna win. And she's the greatest women champion of all time for a reason.
Hmm. And also from Canada, we all know that Canada, the historic wrestling, the Hart family, and stuff like that. Technique, and also just a winner and very classy person. And still to this day, man. To your point, BR at 47 years old and still in phenomenal shape. So that should just tell you, as you get older, take care of yourself. And she's been a pillar. to all the woman wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them look up to her, so big ups to her.